Working hard at your job is supposed to lead somewhere. You put in the hours, you take on extra responsibility, you say yes when it's inconvenient, and eventually you get promoted. Bigger title, bigger paycheck, more status. So why do so many people quietly feel worse after it happens? This is something almost nobody talks about. Getting promoted can actually make you poorer. Not immediately, not obviously, but subtly, gradually, structurally. Let's start with the obvious part: lifestyle. When your income increases, your expectations often increase with it. You upgrade the apartment, you upgrade the car, you upgrade the wardrobe. Maybe you move closer to work. Maybe you start eating out more because you are too busy to cook. None of these decisions feel irresponsible. In fact, they feel earned. You worked for this. But the problem isn't spending more. The problem is locking in higher fixed costs. When your baseline expenses rise, your flexibility shrinks. You didn't just get a raise, you raised the cost of being you. Now let's talk about taxes. Promotions often push you into a higher tax bracket. You earn more, but you don't keep all of the increase. That extra money you were mentally counting on, it's smaller than you expected. And because you already upgraded parts of your life, the margin feels thinner than it should. Then there's something less visible: time. Higher positions usually don't just pay more, they demand more. More meetings, more responsibility, more emotional labor, more decision-making. You might still technically work 40 hours, but mentally, it doesn't end. And when time becomes scarce, money leaks in different ways. You outsource convenience, you pay for speed, you buy back time. Food delivery, last-minute travel, convenience subscriptions, impulse purchases because you're tired. None of this feels dramatic, but it adds up. And here's the part that's uncomfortable. A promotion changes your identity. You're now the responsible one, the leader, the reliable one. That pressure can make it harder to say no. You might feel obligated to maintain a certain image, a certain lifestyle, a certain standard. Even socially, expectations shift. Nicer gifts, nicer vacations, nicer everything. You don't want to look like you're struggling, especially after getting promoted, so you stretch. And stretching becomes normal. Quick pause. If you've ever gotten a raise and somehow felt just as financially stressed a few months later, congratulations. You're not bad with money, you're human. And if this kind of honest breakdown is helpful, you can subscribe. No pressure, just more real conversations like this. Now let's go deeper. There's something called opportunity cost. When you get promoted, you often become more dependent on that higher income. Your lifestyle adapts, your bills adapt, your safety net shrinks relative to your new obligations. Ironically, you can feel less free than before. Before the promotion, you might have been able to switch jobs easily, take a risk, downshift temporarily. After the promotion, it feels riskier because now the fall is bigger. Your expenses are higher, your expectations are higher, your identity is more tied to your role. You didn't just get promoted, you got anchored. And here's the psychological twist. Promotions often come with more stress, but not necessarily more meaning. You manage more problems, you absorb more pressure, you carry more responsibility for things outside your control. The reward for performing well? More complexity. And when stress increases faster than satisfaction, something shifts. You start working to maintain, not to grow. You start protecting your position instead of building your future. Financially, that can look like saving less because you deserve comfort, investing less because you feel secure, taking fewer risks because you don't want instability. Slowly, subtly, you trade long-term leverage for short-term stability, and none of it feels wrong in the moment. That's why this is a trap. It's not that promotions are bad. They're not. The problem is assuming that higher income automatically equals higher wealth. Income is what you earn, wealth is what you keep. And when promotions increase lifestyle, pressure, stress, and fixed costs at the same pace as income, the gap doesn't widen. Sometimes it narrows. You end up earning more, but feeling just as constrained, maybe even more so. This doesn't mean you shouldn't aim higher. It just means the real question isn't, did I get promoted? It's, did my freedom increase? Because if your income rises but your flexibility shrinks, if your title rises but your stress doubles, if your status improves but your savings stall, you didn't get richer, you just got busier. And if you want more honest conversations about money, work, and modern life, subscribe. Quietly. No hype. Promotions aren't the problem, but assuming they solve everything might be. And sometimes the cost of moving up isn't obvious until you're already there.